Damn light in my eyes. Too much light in my eyes. Here we go. Here we go. I don't know. It says my current stream bit rate is low. I got to do my audio check. Audio check. Audio check. Am my audio cracking? It shouldn't be cracking.
No, it sounds excellent. Clean as it was.
All right.
Damn kids upstairs. Too
loud. I can't tell what's going on in the chat. There's zero. There's nobody watching us right now.
Got
Maybe my stuff is.
No, I got 10 watching. 10 so far.
Okay, that's all we need. 10's a party.
Yep.
It was this one time in band camp that I had. No, never mind that.
10's a union meeting.
10's a union meeting, exactly.
the quorum.
All right. I'm gonna put my glasses on for a minute. My head is hurting.
Yep.
All right.
You ain't alone.
And then I'm gonna take them off. I just ordered new glasses. They said 10 days, and that was 2 weeks ago.
Here goes York. Here goes York with the poop and all.
There it is. All right, cool. Let's see. Who's in the chat? Shy till I die. What's popping, homie? Chooch. I think I see you. Texas Tay. Yeah, my ex is living in Texas. Eli. What's popping, homie? Smooth operator. Yo, J Rain. What's goings on? Amanda Espinal. How are you? Reading York guy. You need to take a laxative, brother. Geeked Up Live. All right, Kiefer. What's going on? Brooklyn Dre. He's actually from South Dakota. All right. Screaming Loach.
Bensonhurst.
There it is. Ronninglix. How are you? I can't pronounce that name. Papito. What it do? It done did what it did. Today was hot as freak. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. My air conditioner in my office wasn't working well. I had to get
boo fucking who.
Wrong time. All right. Michael, how you doing? How you doing? Oh man, I apologize. Oh, Johnny, what's going on? Gotta apologize about last night. I was kind of off the cuff. We had a rough few days with just so much going on behind the scenes at the post office, and I wanted to give you a slight update. I did get a couple text messages from Miss Sheba, and she is very thankful and grateful for those that are sending out love to her, and she is sending out love back at everybody else. But now, the praying mailman. Let me pin his comment. For anybody that watches,
can you also shout out Texas Tay and what she just said? I'd appreciate it if you could do that.
I can't see.
Texas, come on! I need you to read it. It's right above the
praying mailman. Is gorgeous. Oh God!
Wow, thank you.
You know the problem is that in Texas, the sun beats on them so much.
A lot of dirt in their eyes from all that tumbleweeds. Yeah.
No, it's because of the sun. It beats on them so much they get delirious. What she thinks she sees is not really what she's seeing. And yeah,
I'll be 45 in August.
Oh Lord. But Sonia Vaknin from Maine. Okay, that's what's going on. We touching all areas of the country.
A lot of new names here. This is nice. A lot of new names. All right,
we're gonna get into some goodies in a few minutes. Again, I want to apologize about my my outburst yesterday, but we're gonna touch on some things. You should be fined for having pineapples on my pizza. Oh Lord.
I like that person. Very good.
She said she'll be 47 in November. Are you a Sagittarian or are you a Scorpio? That's the question. Listen.
Hear me roar.
Do my intro. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How y'all doing, Postal family? I didn't say it correctly. Oh man.
Clean it up
one more time. All right. Law. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is JayH. How y'all doing, Postal family? Is everybody good? Is everybody cool? Everybody clean? Are you crisp? Are you feeling irie?
Beautiful.
Let's talk. The praying mailman. I pinned his name at the top. Please, I don't need to explain more than that. Check out his channel. That's all I'm going to say. And subscribe to his channel as well. Yes,
absolutely.
Do that. Do that.
Good man. Good man, right
there. Definitely. Texas Taste says she is a Scorpio. I have 2 Scorpio children, and I don't like both of them. So that's self-explanatory.
Hope you like Leos.
All right. Oh, Leos, good God almighty.
Oh, yeah. I know about your Leo history. Never mind.
Let's talk. I brought Chooch on here because I had a couple inboxes that it was so much. And one of those things that makes you shake your head and simply say, this ain't how it's supposed to work. There is a sister out there. I sent you the information. There's a sister out there, a solid worker, respected by the whole station. And about 95% of the folks in her building signed a petition saying they want her to be their shop steward. Not a couple of people, not half, not even 75%. We're talking about damn near the entire floor. They trust her, they believe in her, and they said she is the one who should be speaking for us. But this is where it gets messy. Instead of honoring what the voice of the workers and the union president, the voice of the workers, the union president decided to appoint someone else, someone who is already holding another title. This person is trying to be both local shop steward and the area rep. 2 jobs, 1 person. Now, I asked Chooch because I'm not really behind the scenes when it comes down to the union. If you have a local shop steward, isn't the area rep supposed to be the one that kind of checks them? When there's an issue, they're supposed to go to the area rep and ask yourself, who holds that person accountable if they mess up? If you file a grievance and the person hearing it is the same person who oversees the whole area, where do you go for fairness? And this is not an ego trip. This is what the issue is, where people feel like the union isn't representing them. It's called a consolidation of power. It's happening right now under the nose of the people in the union that's supposed to protect. And the worst part is when the members push back respectfully, they had signed, she had signatures signed in her hand and was told something like, well, we don't think the people really want you to be the steward. Now, if you got 95% of the people saying they do, how is that not a mandate? This is bigger than just one building, bigger than just one steward. This is a reflection of what happens when the top down in union leaderships stops listening to the floor. Now, I asked Chooch, and he said, apparently it can be done.
Yeah.
But when you stop listening to the floor, that's when the workers stop believing in the system. And that's when they stop filing grievances because they no longer feel protected. So again, to my brothers and sisters, I see you. I keep saying stay strong. Keep your receipt, keep your records, keep pushing. The message, what did he say? He said form something 11. I don't remember what it was. For her to file that if she disagrees with it. Because the union is only as strong as the members who believe in it. This week alone that we've been chatting, all of us, the postal workers, Amazon workers are dying from heat exposure. UPS just had a situation recently. I think y'all shared it with me. But there's no still consistent enforcement of shade water arrest. Supervisors being told to ride in the back of LLVs. But they're fighting against this, like their presence is going to magically fix the productivity while risking safety. Amazon firing people over in UK, I think, and because of the AI algorithms, they're replacing humans with machines with no explanation except for the humans. And I think the quote was that I think JB sent me the article. The humans don't call out sick, the humans this and the humans that, and it's all over social media. People are still trying to figure out if this overtime tax bill is really passed or just clickbait. And speaking of social media, we were talking behind the scenes, man. Y'all were chatting in the chat room. I kind of brought this thing to the forefront. I'm not going to say I made YouTube cool or postal workers talking about their lives cool, but I think people are violating a little bit. They're going beyond it. Number one, I know what I can and can't do. I know I ain't supposed to be recording while I'm on the clock. I know that I ain't supposed to be sitting there showing envelopes with people's addresses. But I think people going a little bit too much. Too much. That's my opinion. They're going too much.
Agree.
You were just talking about recently, we have a purpose here. We're trying to change the culture. But y'all see I'm posting some of these YouTube shorts and people just talking about how fucking bad this place is.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot that's been going on in just 1 week. So let me hush for a second because I ran my mouth. That's only because Chooch gonna override it. But we've been watching over this and listening to this, living this, and he has his own perspective on this. And Chooch, feel free to use a couple cuss words if your babies ain't around.
Yeah, no, they're far away.
But let's start with the union stuff. Have you ever heard of someone trying to hold both the local steward role and the area rep position at the same time? And what do you think that message does send to the carriers? Let's just say it's just for the carriers. What do you think?
All right. Well, Mr. H, how you doing, everybody? Thanks for joining as always. All right. So straight from the book, for me to go and investigate and say, let me give a proper answer to this. The answer is yes. A local NALC union rep who is a certified and compensated union official can also be a shop steward. Union rep can perform the duties of a steward, particularly in installations fewer than 20 craft employees where a steward hasn't formally been certified. Additionally, union officer who is also a steward in a different section can be designated to investigate and resolve specific grievances or problems. Now, right off the bat, saying that, it's okay. Yeah, we're clarifying that you can play both roles. In this situation where I read that email also and got a good look at it, saw a certain name, saw who was involved, saw that, it's going now to the national business agent, which is what is supposed to happen if you feel that justice isn't being done, where you have someone who's not at the installation eyeing up violations that are apparently racking up by management and things are just getting worse. This person is trying to get the position of steward and they're saying, I've got a petition of 95% of the office, yet somehow, some way I'm being told, nah, we're just going to stick with the dual role person. So as the dual role states, NALC allows the union rep to also serve as a shop steward, as I said, and when the union agrees and notifies management in writing. Article 17.2. Okay, article within the NALC's agreement outlines the process for certifying stewards and allows for the designation of a union rep to perform steward duties in certain situations. The dual role ensures representation for letter carriers, particularly when a dedicated steward isn't readily available or when a rep can assist with specific grievances. This person is saying that she is readily available to be the on-hand steward, and yet somehow, some way, the person who is the union rep and the the shop steward who's not there in the physical form, but yet somehow is more or less stonewalling this person because of, we all know it goes, sometimes it's a character study on people. And if that character doesn't match that next character and their beliefs, things can get ugly quick. That's where you have to go to the business agent. Me and Mr. H here, we don't match. We don't match at all. Like we're we ain't peas and carrots. But I tell you, we know how we want to do what we're doing on here. which is give good information and get people to stop fucking around with this place and get this shit together. I mean, it's getting fucking old, man. I'm still waking up every day, loving to go and serve the people and keep this thing somewhat positive. But people are fucking it up day in and day out. And maybe some of them are in this chat group right now. So I'm blowing it up to everybody right now to say, if you ain't here to help and you're here to just fuck around and you're not serving your purpose as a steward, as a carrier, as a clerk, off you go. Off you fucking go. Because it's tiring, man. And again, I don't have the ability to act. I said it's 19 years of doing this shit. And I said I've seen every ugly side of it, and I've seen every good side of it, and every in between. I got 2 kids up there, and you know they're fantastic, and I want them to come up in a world where work ethic is everything, and family, and all good values in between. But right now, we're a shit show, and it's getting old watching people, blow up on TikTok. And, I don't want to see people in the truck doing the shit anymore. Save that shit for off the clock. Do me a favor. Do it in your privacy of your home. Don't do it in the truck. Don't do it out on the street. Unless you're doing something for the Postal Service. Go ahead, Jay. That's what I got for now.
So I'm gonna piggyback off of what you said. We try to make this job as fun as possible. I did a short with one of my buddies, and we kind of clown the maintenance workers. I think it was the janitors or something one day. We were on our lunch break, but it was in a joking manner about 2 of us having to sweep up like 4 pieces of dirt. Now, that's humor. We need to have some humor when it comes down to the post office, because we'll kill ourselves if we don't. There's other people that are utilizing the platform, obviously, to grieve or vent their grievances. And that's what this platform is for. Grieve your shit, vent your grievances. But to what degree do we have to separate it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do come home, I'm still in uniform, and I talk, but you know that I'm not on the clock. At that point, well, you see a background, a fake backgrounds half the time. But when you are readily in the back of your, ProMaster, or you sit in the front seat and you are scrolling through your mail while talking, that can be problematic. We know there are problems. I'm venting the problems that we have. And then in the same videos, I'm saying we need to change this. I'm hearing stuff like, man, fuck this place. It's the worst place in the world. I wouldn't want nobody. As soon as I get a chance, I'm getting the fuck out of here. I would never wish for anybody to come work at the post office. Fuck this. While sitting in the front seat of a postal van. I know people get frustrated like that. That is not the most intelligent thing to do. It's just not.
Comments. Papito DD Joe 19. My understanding is during break or lunch, that it's on your time, and even if you're on the clock. Again, it's going to be defined by management to say you shouldn't be doing social media. If there is an understanding to say that it's okay off the clock, like I did things in the very beginning of my YouTube career, like during my lunch breaks, just kind of showing, giving love to my customer, giving love to my lunch spot that I go to. But I haven't really done that since, because I do think that there's a time and place for everything. And this is the time for this. This is the time for Postal Talk. I understand that the generation coming up now, I like to think I'm still part of that generation, even though I'm a little bit older, that, you want to throw on the camera and show something positive and fun, but most of the time it's coming out negative. And that is catnip for the OIG and for people that are saying, oh, well, this person seems to be out here doing a lot of filming and not a lot of delivery. So maybe we need to look into this. Right.
So yeah, absolutely. So Reading Your Guy just made a very valid point. I had posted a letter carrier yelling at a customer because a red flag was up. Now, I think that she was speaking. I don't think she spoke to the letter carrier. I don't think she was speaking to the customer. She definitely wouldn't talk to a customer like that. But again, I don't deliver mail, so I don't know how much that pisses you off if you got to go walk over to a vehicle, a box, and the box's flag is up and there's nothing in it. And the actual purpose behind it is so that they know, the people in the house know that a male person has come. That's from what I was told. People will leave it up because they know that y'all are going to push it back down. So they know, okay, well, the mailman was there because the mailman pushed it down. Now, I don't see where it warranted such a such an aggravating response. But then I read a comment where somebody said that I don't know, I don't think it was the customer, but somebody taped a razor blade to the flag.
To the flag.
Right. So that can be problematic and stuff like that. If they catch that, again, I've never carried, but I wouldn't go back to that house. I take a picture of it. I report that shit. It might not have been the customer, but there'd have to be some type of letters there. I could never go to that house again. I wouldn't feel comfortable. You
I
gonna
just
slice my fingers open?
I'd
No.
retape it. I retape it to their car door handle. That's all. Fight
Oh,
fire with fire.
oh, we you know, okay, all right now. Uh, so Robert says dual roles are not going to be good
Yeah.
because she's not going to have time to meet the demands of all the
Yep.
people she needs to help.
I saw that
Not
too.
good, and we all know that she won't have time to represent them. What
Yep.
do you think about that, in your
Fully.
opinion?
Yeah, absolutely. In this time, absolutely. If that is caveman thinking, the dual roles in this particular time of micromanaging, hardcore harassment, hardcore intimidation, new people that don't know the book and need to know the book, need to learn the rules. You can't have somebody off site trying to be steward and just getting emails, phone calls, texts, and saying, "Oh, this is happening," and there's nobody there to have eyes and ears on site. That's no good. It's old school thinking. They're definitely part of the old brigade, and you gotta get action on that because it don't work. 100% agree with Robert.
Okay. I saw something up here. Keep
Sorry,
going.
union. If you don't like it, union. I'm sorry.
I
That's
mean, see, it's
my
so split where people feel like that. They either love their union or don't. Honestly, it would kind of bother me because me personally, I would say, well, you're not really gonna, like he just said, you're not gonna really have time to handle what we need to handle. And with 95%, is there a way to override a a a position like that? Like I brought you a piece of paper that said, "Hey, 95% of the people want me to represent them as a union shop steward." This is damn near 95% of the place. Doesn't is
mm,
isn't the president supposed to do something about that? Because I saw stuff, behind the
pres-
scenes, and
yeah,
the letter was, no, I don't think you can. So who checks the president at that point? You know what I mean?
business
Who
agent. That business agent, national
you think
business
that's
agent.
how it should go?
Yes, national business agent has to intervene. Yeah, um, but they got to get involved. And the idea that we are having to come into these situations constantly where you're hearing that they're it's carrier on carrier crime instead of carrier versus management. It's becoming more and more a one-sided fight with old school union, new school union, and it's fucking bullshit. Plain and simple, it's bullshit. Enough.
Divine says you bring it to the floor and they vote them in. Now I'm hmm,
Mm.
is that a thing? Like, you'd have to bring that as a motion when you
You
go
have
to the union
Yeah,
hall, though, right?
have to get the quorum. It is to say that however many people are part of that local branch, you have to bring forth the executive board, and you have to have a certain amount of number designated people as part of the quorum to get in front of the executive council and to see how whether money talks and bullshit walks. Plain and simple. Like if it was just her doing the petition and you release that to management, management definitely can be a little bit more apprehensive to the written word on paper. The union has a different kind of way of going about it. They just like to think that seniority is always going to rule. And I'm sorry, again, I've been around a long time, and I'm never going to take advantage of my seniority. I am the same dickhead in blue as the rest of everybody else. I am not special. I will never be special. I love the job. I love people that like to do the job. I hate people that bitch and moan about the job all the time. And that's a lot of, that's unfortunately what it's building up to be. But if you ain't coming in and doing your thing to represent this place professionally and the people next to you that need the help, then you're shit. You're shit to me. No matter how long you've been here. Take a walk.
I
Go to the next.
I,
Go on to your next
I,
thing.
I appreciate you doing the research, man, because I do a lot of research myself and I'm getting overwhelmed. So thank you for the
Mm,
union aspect of it. We have a
mm,
couple of other bigger union people in our chat.
no
But
problem.
let's talk about the heat for a second.
Oh
Cause
yeah,
shit, when my AC went off in my office, man, it dropped down to like 77. And I was it's the
we
wrong
got.
time to talk about that.
He's gonna be.
All right, let's
He's gonna play your carrier. We're gonna give him a special ride along for 2 weeks and see how he does.
bro, if you see the difference in my color of I can't. Anyway,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
two-tone from being out there.
How's that for a Sicilian right there?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
Yeah.
you got them beautiful muscles.
Oh yeah, right.
Um,
Yeah, lack of.
what you have a smaller station.
Yeah.
What is your station doing for heat safety? Now, oh man, just something just crossed my mind. I heard some shit today. I didn't talk
Mm,
to the group about it. Behind the scenes, it's gonna blow your mind about new people. But what is your station doing for heat safety? Do
mm,
they do water checks or they just talk to you guys? They shade. Remember somebody mentioned, and I think it was in a chat that they said the no, that was on Corey's. It was on
mm,
Corey's
mm,
thing where they said the supervisor would actually drive out with
mm.
the vehicle
Yeah.
for to let the carriers cool off and bring them electrolytes.
Corey's in
What is your
Corey's in ten.
stand?
I'm sorry, Corey's in Tennessee. Gets pretty damn hot there, so yeah, it's nice to see them come out and do that. That not particularly happens in my station. All the routes are within a certain radius to the station, and I'm a business route guy, so I have plenty of stops along the way. So I don't need really management to come out to me, but I give management credit. They have electrolyte packs on hand, multiple flavors that are in the swing room if you need them. We are getting a new advanced water cooler that provides hot, cold, room temperature, and ice. I almost did a backflip when I heard that. I was like, what fucking dimension am I in right now that they're actually doing this? But this is cause and effect of people dying, people having heat strokes, and what we're going to talk about in a few seconds to say that everybody needs some water they're entitled to. And I heard somebody said something about they tell us to get it from the tap in the nasty fucking bathroom. And I said, let me know where the fuck you are so I can put a call in. And they're going to say, well, OSHA says potable drinking water. And I'm like, fuck OSHA and fuck everybody. Like, you should have a proper water or they should go out and buy water for you. Plain and simple. Yeah, you shouldn't be getting it from the dirty fucking tap.
I'm gonna go back for a second. Sorry for pivoting, but somebody, Papito, in my station, when it came to vote for a new union rep, and somebody been trying to vote for the current one out, but apparently even retired
Mm,
carriers can come out and vote.
yep.
Is that a thing? Can
Hmm.
somebody that no longer works and has to deal with what you deal with come out and vote for a shop steward to represent the people that are there working?
The
Is tell
retirees
me
are a
if it's
big part of it.
oh
Retire Retirees are always around, and in certain areas, including mine, I said they are geniuses of the rule book, strategists of of epic proportions that know uh, everything, and
but how does that help the new people? See,
I
this is
know.
where
Well,
shit.
that's why I said, let me, I said, I'm going to elaborate, of course, to say that while, they drag those old bones down to the union meeting, it's kind of hard to get them to maybe come pay a visit to the station, set up something in a separate time area off the clock, everybody hates off the clock, but unfortunately, union meetings are not on the clock. They're on your own time, and there could be separate things set up closer to a station. If you get a certain percentage of people together to say, we need this training, we need somebody to show us how it's done, and we want that person to be you. And all they have to do is say, nah, I'm not really ready for that. So you want to be part of a vote, but you don't really want to do the hands-on in-person education, or like what we're doing right now. Is it like, uh Johnny, Johnny, 85 years old, hey, I can't see the camera, is anybody there? You feel like you're going to have a lot of issues with trying to do this tech thing that we do, although it's very easy. You have to make sure you have good, proper equipment, like JayH does. He has 75 microphones and 25 cameras around him. I I just happen to I have my computer screen and my one microphone here, and I said that's all it takes. That's all it really takes. Jay's just overkill, but that's what you need. You need people to be able to willing to come to you, not you always having to come to them. It's 2025. It's very easy to do what we're doing right now. I said once you get the hang of it. Jay, took like 3 hours to sign in at first, but now he gets it. Now he knows it right away because he's perfected this over years of practice. We ain't no spring chickens. So they can do that. The retirees can be involved in things, and unfortunately, they're respected very highly. I'm not saying unfortunately. I'm saying that they're respected highly because they put in years of service. They go to every meeting. It's that old school way, and to a certain degree, but we need to make some room, and the young bucks need to get on the ball a little bit more. So it's everybody. It's everybody's responsibility.
So I'm I'm kind of just glimpsing at the comments here because it just threw me for a loop.
I'm trying not to.
So I just want to clarify this. I got my camera over there. I got a screen there.
I'm not a boomer. I'm not a boomer.
The only way,
X,
if you have 10 retired carriers that come out to vote, and you have 4 younger carriers that want a younger shop steward in there, but the 10 retired carriers that have nothing to do with what you're doing right now say, nah, you know what, we're gonna bring old Henry in here, and he's gonna be he's gonna stay as the shop steward. You realize that there's power in numbers, and that's our fault if we don't show up to the union meetings, because there are more active members than there are retired members. So if something needs to change, what's that dude say? Change the culture.
Yep.
If you want a new shop steward in there, you got to bring enough people to override who? You got to override the people that are in there.
Eli just said Chooch is a Neanderthal.
Oh, man. Seem like Gen X? Oh, what the hell is my generation? Gen Z? I don't know. No, I am. I'm a little older than that. Anyway,
you're X like me. You're on the cutoff of. I'm on the cutoff of X, 1980.
The
millennials take over after
the best. All right, so that's how you change it. That is what it is. If y'all don't want a shop steward there, but you got 10 people that
there you go, York.
That people that are not active anymore, and they keep voting in somebody that's not quite what you want, that's your fault. I don't like to put the blame on it, but it is. Get enough people. Say, hey, man, we're going to not watch the game tonight. Let's get out to the Union Hall. And I don't even know what fucking Union Hall is. That's our fault. That's our fault. Seriously.
I use MapQuest to get there.
All right. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So check this out. We're going to go to another question. Do you think that we're creating silent carriers? Now I'm trying to touch on all my topics throughout the week. With the favoritism, the micromanaging, the double duty stewards, the people scared to speak up. Do you think that we, because we're a little bit older, are creating a culture where carriers or truck drivers, well, truck drivers are usually older, or the new clerks, mail handlers are just staying quiet even when they know they're being done dirty? And if you think so, what do you think the long-term cost of that is? Because if somebody's just accepting that for 5 years, then they finally start getting into the rhythm. What happens to the next people that follow them? It's almost a domino effect, kind of what I was talking about yesterday. What do you think of that? Are we the ones creating this?
Well, I tell you, my timeline to say that when we met, I told you at that point it was 17 and a half, 18 years in. We've known each other for well over a year now, 2 years maybe. That I was riding smooth, riding quiet, no drama. And then everything changed. The switch flipped, and it wasn't me. I didn't change. I stayed the same carrier. It was management that decided to say, you're all bums in blue. We used to kind of differentiate, problematic from, consistently good carriers with good attendance and good attitudes. Nah, you're all You're all bums now. We're gonna speed you up. We're gonna intimidate you. We're gonna get in your head. We're gonna fuck with you. And I'm like, whoa, 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 what? Where did this come from? Where did all this aggression suddenly come from? And it was it was tough at first. Talked to you, told you my story, told you a little bit of the nasty stuff, and now, like, breathing easy, whether I acted with the union or not, and then like decided to move forward with that. I just know now I'm in the best place I can be, because again, it's very easy for me to walk in there and say, I know I ain't great, but I know I'm better than that. And that's what I tell
Mm.
everybody to go in with the attitude of, say, you don't have to be the best, the fastest, the most efficient. You don't, you can just, be the person that just stays in your lane, doesn't try to really, you don't have to befriend anybody, but it's good to like know a few good people. It's good to make your voice be heard. But like I said, ain't great, but I know I'm better than that. Anybody trying to push, intimidate, bully, make you feel like you're not doing good enough, telling you verbally you need to do better, fuck you, fuck you. You need to do better. My failure as a carrier is your failure as a manager. Wow, that's what
Damn.
I say. Yeah.
Say what you really feel.
Mm-hmm. Have to.
Oof.
Why I wouldn't. I couldn't sugarcoat it at this point if I tried. It's too much time, too much family time with lost with family, forcing and all that stuff. I said it's gotten better, so I feel better about it, and I want everybody else to feel better about it. But it ain't about knowing the game; it's about knowing the rules. The game and the rules are two different things. If you want to play games, go somewhere else. I'm not playing games. I'm doing by the book, and I'm not letting anybody infringe on how this thing is supposed to be done. You know, I watch people, get very flustered and frazzled. But if they come talk to me, you come and ask me a question, I promise you, I'll get you in the right frame of mind to get through this, because I'm gonna make it all the way. I'm going all the way. Steiner, DeJoy, uh, Meg Brennan, all the fucking postmasters that come through here. Let them come through here. Let them do what they do. Carriers, we're going to be here. DSIs, hope he's going to be here still. you're going to be you're going to be here no matter what. You're going to be here no matter what. You're the
Okay.
you're the greatest.
I could fake it well.
Mm.
Uh,
Clarification on
sorry.
the Will wants clarification on the no OT tax. Hmm. That's
Oh
been
man.
that's been a fun one.
All right.
12,500 if you're single, 25,000 if you're married, filing jointly. That's it. I don't know how much more we need than that. That's
Okay.
it.
So
That's the
I'm
limit.
gonna try my best. This is not what
No, keep
I
going.
had that to talk about as well. I'm gonna try my best to somewhat explain that.
Good luck.
uh
I'll sit back.
what is if you make $30 an hour and you get an hour of overtime? What do you make? $45, right? An hour. Because it's time and a half, right? Yes, that's what it is. That's math. 15
Very good.
plus 45 bucks. All right.
Regular
So
Einstein here.
it's $15. So now they're saying no tax on the overtime portion of it. So the first 30 will be taxed, right?
Mm.
The overtime portion, which is the $15 out of the overtime itself, the $15, so long as it equals up the first 12.50, 12,500. What is it? 1250. I don't have the figure in front of me. 12. I think it's 1250. Yeah, $12,500. And with a married couple, it's like up to 30,000 or something like that in a combination. I don't have the stats in front of me. So what you're going to be clear of at the end of the year, as far as writing the taxes off, would be the overtime portion of it. It's not like you got more in your pocket, to be clear with that. As far as how it will be implemented, I want people to remember the tax codes change every year. And back when there was a mandate, remember they said that we all had to get health insurance. I think that was underneath Obama, or you get fined for it. They add things to the actual tax forms every year. They take things away and they add things to it. Now, when they do that from the IRS standpoint, the companies that we work for, all companies, have to implement that into the computer. They compute it in. So when you get your, what is it, W-2 back? It's a W-2. When you get your W-2 back, it breaks it down. Anybody take a look at your W-2. It breaks it down into sections. It says, this is what you gross, this is what your Social Security you paid in, this is blah, blah, blah. They're simply just going to add that extra box. It's not like you got to think about anything. So that's how it'll go. So that'll be like something else that you're able to write off, just like with your taxes. When you put down, oh, I made 50 grand a year and I paid 12 grand in taxes, you're punching, well, I do taxes. You punch this stuff into boxes. When you get your programs, there's going to be an extra box specifically for the overtime. The company itself we work for, USPS, is going to they do the calculations. They're going to say throughout the year, this is what you made in overtime. Very simple. You will plug that in.
TC asked, who makes 37K in overtime? They're not now, but there was a time. I right about that exact number for the years that for the last couple of years where I was mandated and working like a dog. Yeah,
and that's why you have all your hair still.
Yeah. You see those like faded spots there. No,
but
yeah, I hear you. Keep talking.
It's not as complex as people think, but I need people to understand that you won't see more in your check. It's not like you're gonna see more every week. It's like, oh man, I mean, $45 an hour for these extra. They're not gonna tax the extra. I'm gonna get that extra 15. No, you're not gonna see it. It will reduce your tax bill if you have to pay for carriers or people, depending on what state you live in as well. You will still have to pay. Also, they will still take out the Social Security portion of it. You know what I'm saying? It's not just the regular tax. The federal tax won't be taxed on it. But all the other little bits and pieces that you gotta, you're not gonna see a big significant difference. It all just comes out. It's kind of weird. But that's just to clarify it. It will be, and I spoke to a tax accountant. They tried to simplify it, and I'm trying to simplify it the best way I can. Our company that we work for will automatically, when you get your form back, it'll all have that stuff written out for you.
Yep.
The same way when we had to have insurance, it tells you how much you paid into the insurance. It tells you how much the company paid into the insurance. There's a section in checkbox C. This one says how much we paid into our TSP, how much is in a Roth. All that stuff we just punch in. Some of y'all just take a picture of your W-2 and just upload it. That's how that works. So don't overthink it. You're not going to get you're not going to get rich off of it. That's that's what it is. At the end of the day, that's kind of what it is.
JayH, tax attorney.
No, it is definitely not tax attorney. I know how to do basic taxes. That's what it is. Yeah. And there are some states that have state tax, and there's some that don't have state tax.
Oh,
like
yeah.
I live in a state that doesn't have state tax.
Greenland.
Here's the thing. what do you think happens to the morale? Because
Hmm.
I keep seeing stuff up and down. What do you think happens to the morale when employees see that their voices don't matter, even inside the union? Because I think of how much I got intertwined with you guys because of what was going on
Hmm.
with Renfro.
Yeah.
And it's like, yo, our voices ain't being heard. He's not saying nothing to us. What do you think happens to? I mean, get a bunch of angry carriers, obviously. What's your opinion about that?
Works up.
Especially,
I'm with you.
especially when
All
it
right.
comes down to the union.
Yep. Work suffers. You as humans, we suffer physically, mentally. The job is not executed properly. Shortcuts are taken. Walking into you're waking up in the morning. There's a feeling of anxiety. I'm not going to deny it. I've gone through every one of those motions through COVID, post COVID, current moments. Certain days are just better than others. You wake up feeling good on certain days. Other days you want to just like say, shit, maybe I don't want to go in there today. But I always go when again, I got people to take care of, bills to pay. Everybody's got responsibilities. So um, it's it's very easy for me once I get in and I get going. It's the build up to it. Just like going to do it like a DJ gig. It's like the build, the anxiety of like. But once you hit that play button, once you're going, everything becomes that second nature, that reflex. So yeah, kill the morale killer. Is happening as we speak, and it's happening every day. So as much as we're reaching out here, as much as like as hard work as you put in, as much as I can come on here with you, I believe that a lot of people listen, but they'll wake up tomorrow and they'll still feel like nothing's better. Situation ain't getting any better. So we keep talking. We keep trying to influence to say, don't let this person walk on you. Don't, and I understand that people don't feel like there's an out. People don't feel like there's any sort of like room for improvement. That people are just there to bust your balls. But again, I can get past all that up to at this point. But again, I have a long time served, and there's a different time, and I know everybody knows my deal to say that I started when I started. I got paid on that different pay scale, so I understand that just before I even say a word, people are already looking at it like, well, he came up in this time, so it's different. But listen, bottom line is, like I said, I'm nothing special. I don't go in there and say, oh, 20 years, I deserve the easiest route. I shouldn't have my balls busted. I shouldn't have to work my annis days. I said, I am that same person I was since day one. I will never sell myself out or give myself, say I need an extra pat on the back, because I've been doing this for so long. I hate fucking people that do that. And there's fucking people that have crossed in this chat, and you might even be here right now, fuckers, and you do that and you act like you're fucking special. You're not fucking special. You're nobody. You don't deserve any better treatment.
Ay,
19
ay,
years.
ay.
I'm going to sound the same fucking way in another 5 years if we're still doing videos. You are a mail carrier. You took an oath. You do the work, and you're not anything special. You hear me? You hear me?
I
Is
don't
it?
like how you said that. That hurt
Come on.
my feelings, brother.
I say it every fuck. I say it every goddamn time. I say it every fucking time. I am
Oh
so
my
tired.
God.
I'm tired of the entitlement for the old heads. I'm tired of entitlement when the young bucks,
The
think like,
young ones as well.
yeah,
Yeah.
both of you. Yep. I said maybe I'm just in that perfect in between world to say 20 years, turning 45 in a couple of days. But like I said, I said, bring it. You want to take that fucking Pepsi challenge and say, oh, I could probably do Chooch's route. I said, come on, try it. Come on down. You're the next contestant on the Chooch's right. I'm tired of hearing. It's more about the old heads. I understand. I'm favoring a little bit more, to say I understand the younger struggle. The old heads, and I could drop a name or two right now, but I'm gonna leave it alone. Just fucking stop saying that, like, oh, yeah, there's some crybabies out there, but at the same time, this is a different situation right now. This is a different post office. The low jacking, You weren't low jacked, fuckers. You were drinking in bars, swimming in pools. Some years, not all years. You weren't. You didn't have it. You had your MSPs photocopied, and this is what got us to where we are now with all the fucking
Ooh.
surveillance. This is what got us here. You fuckers that were back there doing all that shit off the clock. They got news. They caught guys in Philly, 3 guys drinking in a bar, sucking down beers, and then getting into the car. The guy hits him up with the camera and says, "Please don't get in the truck and drive, sir. We observed you having 12 drinks." They got removed, rightfully so. They got removed. And, I mean,
Mm.
am I wrong? Am I wrong? Should
Well,
should the union have saved them? Fuck that. You're out.
okay.
Sorry.
Tell us how you really feel. Let me ask you, do you think, because I was doing a lot of stuff about the heat recently,
Yeah.
you think that the higher ups that watch, because they all do,
Yeah.
you think that they think y'all are exaggerating about the heat concerns? I got an email from somebody, and was very, very, very respectful. You saw the email. You had some choice words about it, but very respectful.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna repeat what it says, not who it came from. Stated, when I grew up, summers were hot, winters were cold. Nothing has changed from back when. And those were his words, and I was like, shit. You know, they're, I I think that they're just, they're making this stuff more than what it is. I was a little appalled about it, but he was very straightforward. Do you think that the uppers are are thinking that y'all are exaggerating about the heat concerns, or are y'all just soft? Because remember, the brother that passed away in Texas,
Yep.
he had been a postal worker for years,
37.
years.
37.
No, a couple
Oh.
years ago.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, he was almost retired,
Yeah.
and he made it all them years.
That
So
wasn't his age. That wasn't his age. That was how many years he served. He was like a 36, 37 year carrier.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think? They think you exact? I mean, in your
Okay.
opinion,
All right. Well, like I said, I can,
of
I can,
loading.
I can, I can play it back from the beginning. LLV from day one, still in the LLV now. It is, they make little things called hygrometers that tell you the temperature and tell you the humidity. I stuck that little bastard on the dashboard right by the fan, the thing that creates the only kind of comfort in that fucking heat box. 120 starts off 85, 90 an hour, half 20 minutes, 95, 100, 115, 120, 127
Was it
consistently.
124? Oh
One
yeah,
one
127.
127 consistently for 5 days straight. I can promise you that, while it was, topping 100 easily in past times, for consistent days in the summertime, during prime time, just going out now and being no ODL, 8 hours, mostly doing my own route, maybe a tiny bit of extra in the office, maybe a 2-ton run. It has never been more headachy in this head of mine going out and doing the shortest days I've done in my career in the almost 20 years to say that it feels hotter. It hurts
Okay.
more.
Okay. Well, it feel hotter. Maybe you're just getting older.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, yeah. I'm having heat flashes.
do
Uh,
you think that the upper management think that y'all are exaggerating, in your
uh,
opinion?
absolutely,
Or
absolutely. Yeah, we're all full of shit. We're all pansies. While you sit in that fucking 65-degree air conditioned office and you never dare to come out there without your air conditioner turned on to follow us, spy on us, do whatever the fuck you want. And you have the balls to say that, they're just over exaggerating. This is just a softer generation. Well, this is the old generation telling you that it's gotten worse and it's getting old. And I'm seeing those NGDVs and they're looking pretty damn sweet right now.
ooh,
Yeah, I said they look pretty damn sweet. And I said they're a little goofy looking. They're a little large. Maybe some design flaws, but so far I know that they drive pretty nice and that AC works. And you got safety features that the LLV does not have. Your airbag is your fucking head basically in an LLV. So good luck. Hope you have a hard head like mine because I've had some close calls out there. So yep. There we go. We got some people saying I hit 118, Palm Springs, Izzy. Yep. Shout out your temperatures. 116 in Phoenix. Jason Gutierrez. Yep. I hear you, boy. I hear you. 98 outside, 103 in the plant. Very little
Let me
fans
read
around.
this because somebody said, "Oh, Jay, where can I find it?" I'm just gonna read it, and I know where I found it, but some things we just can't share.
No AC.
Board memo, blah blah blah. Naps LLV driving conditions during heat dome. This is a video that I made about, and I was pretty pissed about it. Now I'm gonna read it verbatim. It's over there. Y'all can't see it. It's too bright. Anyway, it says, Executive Board, NAP's headquarter has expressed its growing concern to USPS regarding EAS being required to ride in the back of LLVs without air condition during the massive heat dome currently moving across the United States. NAPS has requested that all USPS activities that place EAS in hazardous and unsafe conditions be suspended. Please share this information with your membership. Thank you and be safe. NAPS headquarters. And then it got the actual letter. I won't say the names. Such and such. As this massive heat dome moves across the United States, NAPS is getting increasing calls from the field concerning EAS being required to ride in the back of LOVs without any air condition. The core of the massive heat dome responsible for the multiple all-time record highs in these states. Record highs were tied or broken at more than 50 locations in this specific state. NAPS has expressed our concerns for EAS being made to work in this type of environment as an unsafe condition and practice being employed by the agency impacted the lives of our members in the years past. We just learned of the passing of one of our members in Fayetteville, which I spoke about.
Which was
NAPS,
sad.
Yeah, the lady that passed
Very
away.
sad. She wasn't supposed to be in there.
Right. NAPS noted that this notification came from news stories shared with us from the field and not from any notification from the agency. In other words, they only found out about it because of somebody watching the news stories.
Yep.
USPS didn't share it with NAPS. For those that don't know, that's the Postal Supervisors
National
Union.
Association of Postal Supervisors. Yep.
NAPS requests that this especially hazardous situation due to the heat dome, that all USPS activities that would place EAS in hazardous, unsafe conditions be suspended. NAPS contends that to continue requiring EAS to place their lives in danger is a hazardous and unsafe work practice. That's what it says. EAS to place their lives in danger is a hazardous and unsafe work practice. I wish my phone could be seen. No, I just turned. It looks white, doesn't it?
It's on the NAPS website. It's on the NAPS website. Yep. It's
But
out there.
Yeah. Now, for that person or those people saying, hey, can't find it. They meant to find it. I just read it.
Yeah.
But that's crazy. That's crazy. And bro, as I'm talking to you, somebody text me. I don't even know this number. And this is just wild. I love how people share these information.
Hit me.
Jay, imagine your shop steward being the postmaster's administrative secretary. And oh yeah, the local president is the postmaster's bestie. This is the shit. I don't know who the hell sent this message.
Yeah.
This is what this is wild.
Just flies in hot off the press every 2 minutes, doesn't it? Dirty work, dirty work, dirty work all day long. I don't know. I don't know how corrupted a human can become these days. It amazes me.
This is our postal service. Anyway, I veered off a topic. I appreciate the chat sticking with us, but this is how we share that information. So if they feel like the NAPS, the supervisors shouldn't ride back there, then why y'all NALC? Why y'all ain't doing the same thing?
Interesting. Interesting. All right.
I know you can't because
here I go.
Oh Lord, here we go.
All right. Okay. So for someone who's been through a full route inspection, which has not happened in over a decade, that's where a full team of people came out and were with you for 6 days a week. And for 3 days out of that 6 days, you were rode along with. And it was done, summer months, prime months, more or less. I can't quite pinpoint it. But, first things first, all the mail volume magically disappears and then it reappears after the inspection is done. I'm talking 130 feet of mail. They know it. We know it. They look you straight in the eye and say, "Oh, that's just coincidence," but they know that's what they do. So that's the first bit of the dirty work. But there they were riding in that truck with you. And I remember one person had to be taken back after about 2 hours because they said, "I can't take it." They were getting nauseous. And that's that carrier that was in that truck had been doing the job about 35 years at that point. And he's just like, "Oh, not doing good back there." I pointed the fan at them. I rolled the windows down. I brought an extra water with me. He wasn't trying to like roll the windows up and like burn them out. Like some carriers have said, like I leave the windows up on purpose and I let them suffer back there. I'm like, come on, like if they're jerk offs, yeah, maybe, but for the most part, yeah, if they're jerk offs, yeah, make them sweat. But if it's a civil human being that that lets you go out and do your job, and like I said, I've had my share of like characters that seem like they were trying to be civil, and others trying to say like, what do you do that for? When I'm like, yo, you ain't supposed to instruct me unless I'm doing something unsafe. You're only supposed to observe. Remember that, folks. With the 99 walks, they're supposed to observe you. They're not supposed to instruct you, school you, tell you how to do something. You do it the way that you always do it. Don't change your ways. Don't let them change your ways. So when you're talking about this naps thing and this sudden change, and that poor woman, I said she was in her 50s. She had put her time in, and it was a terrible thing. And like you said, it took the news report like to get the word out there. It's ridiculous. They sweep it under the rug, but it put wheels in motion to say now we need to put something out there about the supervisor right in the back of the truck because that's inhumane. So that 2 feet of separation in the jumper seat compared to the carrier who's in that truck an average of 250 days a year for everything from 0 degrees up to 100 degrees in some areas. It's okay for you to be up there, like because you got that fan blowing on you. You're good. You're good. You got that heater blowing on you with the window down all day. Come on, come on, the fuck out of here. I mean, if you want to use the computer to cheat us, and say, well, we're not going to do that anymore. We're just going to go with the computer. That's where I got to say to the carriers, make sure you're doing everything you're supposed to be doing out there, including stopping work for 50 minutes because they're going to jerk you. They're going to jerk you on those numbers. And unless you're jerking yourself and you're not putting in those stoppages and those comfort stops, this is where them not riding along in the truck with you is going to now make it even dirtier on paper and through the computer system. They'll still do 99 walks where they'll follow you. They'll follow in an air conditioned car in certain situations. But if you're in a heavy traffic situation and they can't stay on your tail the whole time, and they just say, "Well, just go up and down the block. I'll sit here and I'll wait for you," that's how it's done most of the time. Nobody really wants to walk with you. None of them really want to like be right on your hip the whole time. They just observe, and they can observe from the car. Yeah. So, but when all said and done, this thing is ridiculous to say that they want to pull the plug on that because of the heat. Fuck you.
Well, we ain't gonna try. No, it's your world, brother. I don't want to infuriate people. I just want to share that information. You are allowed to feel how you feel, everybody.
Yeah. Goddamn right.
But
go out and do it every day.
We talk about the mental and the mental health and the morale of people. Just reading the comments, it is evident, and I was very like I said, I kind of apologize for the way I went off yesterday because I wasn't really structured on how I wanted to deliver the message. But
you're forgiven.
Do you think postal workers are allowed to be human anymore? Because I was talking shit about those guys that were doing their TikToks. I think there's a time and a place for everything. But when is the right time to break down? Is there a specific time to break down? And I'm going to follow it up. I'm going to give you a nice one. I'm going to give you a nice one. If you could send a message, this is a good one for the chat too. Don't use no vulgarity, chat. But if you could send a message directly to the Postmaster General or direct leadership in his circle, what would you say about the heat situation, climate change, or about the workroom floor? Pick one topic, get to it. Tell me what do you feel is the most important if you had that one opportunity and you knew he was going to read it?
Um, it's a tie between the heat exhaustion and the workroom floor nonsense, the abuse. So you got to be indoors in the air conditioning, getting your nuts stepped on, and then you go out on the street, and you know that they want you moving, they want you in that vehicle, they want to keep band-aiding the LLVs. Don't know if I'm ever going to see the inside of an NGDV in the rest of my career. I got a good amount of time left. But between the workroom floor chaos and the idea that I can't implore carriers enough to keep you cool. I may sound like a nutcase on here, but when I'm in between those walls, I know that less is more. I know that biting your lip and knowing your rule book is the best way. If you're that provoked by someone, again, every action is a reaction. I know a lot of people like to talk tough and say like, oh, they ain't going to talk to me like that on the floor. Listen, again, it's not about who's got the biggest set of balls in the room or the toughest person. It's about knowing again that you're better than them. When all's said and done, if they are there and their job is to make you work harder, and you feel that that is the effect that it's causing on you while you're doing a good job, then I implore you to just be able to brush it off, move on with your day, and realize that as long as you're doing everything you're supposed to be doing, there is nothing that can truly happen to you except they can be in your ear trying to do things, and they will eventually get the idea. They will leave you the fuck alone. And if it returns to come back every once in a while, like it'll wreak its ugly head every once in a while. But at the same time, you know, you're doing the right thing, you have nothing to worry about. If you're doing something other than the right thing, and I'm talking to you because you fuckers like to be sticking things in bags and pulling batteries and all that other shit, enough of that shit. Don't do that. Anything with that scanner to compromise your job. Leave the fucking scanner alone and do your job. You hear?
Mm, 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 mm.
Please, for the love of God,
That'll
don't
that'll
fuck.
lead me into what I was reading over there about Amazon and their robots. Now, I don't know if, like I said, it was one of y'all sent me the thing about Amazon. With Amazon and all that tracking people to the minute, to the second, damn near your speed, and the people over there in Amazon automating deliveries. You think USPS could go down the same path?
Atari, yeah, the Atari
No,
generation.
no, but I'm reading
I,
the comments
yeah,
and the lady saying that the warehouse is hot in the inside and all that stuff.
mm,
And it's
sweatshop.
unacceptable. I know that when my facility, when the AC go out, people be dying. It's hot in there.
Yeah, it's a
But
sweatshop. It becomes a sweatshop.
do you
This
think
is not a third world country. This is America. We're
if
supposed to have air
if it
conditioning.
was if it was Amazon, there'd be robots in there. They wouldn't need the
They
AC,
wouldn't worry about the AC. Yeah. Yes.
right?
Well, when
So you think
when the AI of the robots takes over and they start throwing the packages across the fucking room and breaking, setting shit on fire, then they'll say, I guess we got to
that's
go
the
back to humans now. We better turn on
that's
the
the
AC.
nah, that's the clerks already. They be trying. You saw that little meme about
All right.
you see how
Yep.
far clerks sorting the parcels in the morning, man. That
Oh
be on their
man.
shit.
I said,
Yo,
Amazon, pack those boxes really good, please. Walmart, make sure you put a lot of bubble wrap in those fuckers, boy, because,
oh shit.
yeah, fragile.
Um, that's funny.
Yep.
We got people that you got people that live paycheck to paycheck, and I don't think that's appropriate. Now, two sides of the spectrum. The two-tier pay system sucks. It's obvious.
Yep. True.
And working for a government agency, I gotta word this correctly. Working for a government agency, I don't think anybody should live paycheck to paycheck.
Nope.
Some people make poor decisions with the money they make,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's just some people that can't make ends meet. Obviously, it has to do with location. Like if you move to my area on Star Island here, you know, you know who my neighbor is? You know my neighbor? Oprah. Oprah. No.
Star Jones.
There it is. It sucks. I'm not here to try to bash. We're here just kind of passing things on from our perspectives, telling the truth the best way we know how, and correcting it when it's necessary. There are carriers that are dying. There are supervisors that are being put in unfair, dangerous positions. Because even if it's a little bit cooler in the back, somebody said it's cooler in the back. It's stifling. There's no air circulation back there. Amazon workers are being replaced. We got to start asking who's fighting for us and who's just pretending to fight for us. I have a president of my union's leaving. Like I said in every video, I kind of like the guy, but is he fighting as hard as he could? You guys got to, what you got. Who's fighting for us? Who's willing to fight for us? When you got a lady that's trying to become a shop steward that's willing to fight, we got 95% of the people said, yes, we want this in here, but seemed like a dictatorship. No. You can't fight for it. It seems like people feel like their hands are tied.
Yeah.
I don't have answers for this, people. If y'all waiting for an answer, I'm just kind of putting all the stuff out there because the system's broken.
Yep.
It is.
True.
And when you got people that want to try and change that culture, it feels like our hands are tied, man. So that's why we come to you on your channel here, and we want answers.
Good evening, Aaron. Good evening, Aaron. Aaron's about to say something, Aaron, like, it's not cooler in the back unless, I know where he's going with that. Just real quick, I always point out this horrible number. Back in 2006, when I began as a PTF, the pay was $19.04 an hour. And 19 years later, the starting rate for the CCA up until the contract kicked in was right around 19 and change, which is unfucking believable to say that 2 decades could pass and the starting rate was at the same fucking number that I was in 2006. That's, horrendous. So, yeah, union, bad job on that one. Bad job on that one. So, Renfro,
Hey,
we still remember you, buddy. You still fucked us good. You didn't do a good job. Diamondstein,
no
you
lube.
kind of.
No lube.
Mm,
I said no lube. No
no,
lube.
no Vaseline.
I got to interrupt for a special announcement. Brian Cadwater, please cut out the hanky panky while on the job. I don't know what that means.
I was wondering if you were going to say that, and I'm like, what is it? This Calman Mercada has got some serious business to discuss here.
Texas Tate says that she feels like management should carry once or twice every 6 months. I agree.
Yeah.
I think that any shop steward, like union presidents and all that, again, I ain't got nothing against, a good shop steward, a good union president. For your craft, they need to feel it.
Yep.
I agree with what she said. They need to feel it. And if you're not willing to go and carry, like your future president should be carrying at least once to go feel what the hell y'all feel.
If you're going to make 300,
if you're going to get NGDVs either. Those NGDVs are nice.
Put them in it.
It's nice.
Goddamn nice, boy. I want them.
Nice.
I hope I see one day. Yeah, if you're going to make 250, 300,000 a year, and obviously be subjected to zero climate issues or LLV or mail delivery of any kind, it would be nice to say, hey, take your children to work day, take the president to work day. Come on in, management. You're going to go out there. You're going to get a little taste. Get a little taste. Uh-oh, what do you see? What's that face?
Getaway says, make managers carry each route they want to cut.
Ooh,
that's deep.
I like that.
That's deep.
Yeah.
That's deep. Boy, these people coming up with some shit.
Yep. No, I said there's plenty of good ideas out there, and this is the way to get them out there, and and let them be known. Obviously, if they're watching, like that they do, like I said, I mean, how much more can we say, and how much is this pandering, is this showboating, this is I could give two shits about saying hey everybody subscribe, put the thumbs up for Chooch. It's nice to be a face and be known and be seen, and and be a little funny, but I just want this place to last. I want people to be successful. I want them to knock off the harassment, the bullshit, and I want this place to feel like we're living in the 21st century where,
got a question.
God forbid, air conditioning could be in a truck.
Got a question. Dragon Short said, see, they be coming up with some shit.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where I get my video ideas. Yeah, I'm looking over there because there's a screen over there. How many carriers have died in the past year compared to management and clerks in the past year due to just working?
That is a good question.
That's deep.
That is a great question.
Deep.
Yep. I'm going to say it's a 15-to-1 ratio at best.
That's deep.
15. I might be lowballing it.
Why didn't I even think of that? Why I didn't think of that question? I made that question up. I don't know who the hell that person. I made it up. No, that's a really good question.
That's a great question.
Damn, make me reevaluate.
Chris Cash. Chris Cash. We follow the managers, the supervisors delivering the route and make them sure they do it by the book. Yep, we stay on their ass all day like white on rice. Chris Cash always got something good to say.
I want him on my show.
Yes.
This one states, Sean says, I'm a steward and I drive a truck every day. Yeah, so it seems like that's how it works with the truck drivers. We got a lot of our people, we got to be represented. We got to be represented. I just want y'all to know a lot of our truck drivers don't complain as much as you whining ass carriers. I got a lot of carriers. They were like, fuck you, Jay. No, no, but I can't even tell the stories because the people that I tell the stories about with the truck drivers, they work at my place. I can't even tell those. There's some shit that goes on behind the scenes with truck drivers. We don't have it as great as people think we do.
Truck drivers
this one said
real. Truck drivers, real deal. Sorry.
111 degrees here in Vegas today.
That's
annual leave starting in July. CCAs, yeah. CCAs are getting annual leave starting in July. Oh, I think they all get annual as well. I think it's sick leave, right? They started getting sick or something.
Yeah, that starts up on the 12th, correct. Yep. That does start up. 2 more days. Yeah, Sean Albano. Yeah, he said, I like to be in the truck doing the job. I don't like to be stuck. I don't like to be having route work taken off me. I said if it ever came to a point where I was buried in, the office with grievances and piling up, and be in a large, if I was moved into an SNDC, I probably would have to just go back to being a carrier because it's a fucking nightmare in there with piles and piles of discipline from everybody I talk to, from local to across the area. I understand that that's the direction they're heading in, but they basically have people just ready to do discipline all day, and that's their whole job, and it's sad. And that culture shift, that switch I told you that was flipped after all those years of everything being peaceful, that's what this is, and that's what's happening now, and it sucks, and it's pathetic. It's fucking pathetic. All day long, discipline. Leave us alone. Let people do their job for once. Try it out. Try it out for once. Not everybody's going to walk all over you like you think. People actually want to still work. And then a couple of people need a good kick in the ass every now and then. But I just think that from the beginning, if you see shithead behavior from the get-go and nobody coming to you from either the management side or the carrier side, putting that helping hand out, giving you their phone number, saying, please call me. I will answer a question for you. I will always be at your excuse me. I'm always going to be there to help you out. I'm always going to
be about that. You willing to be about that? Listen, check this out.
You want me to put my email
watching
up?
right now? Anybody is watching right now? I need Eli to drop Chooch's channel in the chat. I want you to Go over to Chooch's channel.
And you can get my email.
He's a straight
too.
shooter. He's a little more vulgar than me.
Mm.
And whatever video is his most recent, doesn't matter what it is, go in there and ask him a question. You
Please.
about to be about it, brother. Ask
Please.
him a question. Give him some homework.
I'm ready. I want to help. I want to help
If you
you
got a
lighten your
story
load. Yes. I want to help you
that you
lighten
want to
your
give
load.
him, take a little bit of my load. Because when you got people that are here that are willing to help you, that's been here for Matt's been here since 1974, you said? No,
Yep.
he's been here a while. You got a veteran that's here that's willing to give you some feedback from his perspective. He may not tell you what you want to hear, but he's gonna get the research done as a shop steward. And he can't help you write a grievance, but he'll point you in the right direction. So if I can't see the chat right now, but if anybody could type Chooch's channel in there, and if you got questions for him, you want to tell him a story, just for feedback. Sometimes we need that. Just, because me, like I said, Diddy's next door to me. Okay. I got Oprah on the other side. I can't identify. Somebody wrote that in the chat. He lived next door to Diddy. That's why my knees are ashy. No baby oil. Got to lighten his load up a little bit. But if you have a question now, somebody said something about somebody picking at Saeed in the chat. Listen, for people that don't know, Saeed is doing his channel, and some people have their own opinions. We all deliver our messages differently. So please, I can't read where they may have picked at him or anything, but let him do his thug dizzle. I chat with Saeed behind the scenes, so that's why I can get away with. Well, I forgot what he says.
Jesus.
Yeah, but I don't know what somebody said. Somebody said leave Saeed alone in the chat.
Yeah, we're gonna leave Syed alone in the chat. My only constructive criticism is to say maybe look at the screen and talk to people with some thought in your head rather than looking down and reading off a script. I said that's my criticism of anybody that's doing kind of a read off more than some original thought and flavor to it. I said I read a little bit in the beginning, but talking about my experiences to say I'm looking straight ahead, and if there's information, there's information to find, and there's information out there to be had. It's very easily accessible most of the time. So I'm just going to leave it at that. I said I appreciate anybody that comes on here and is trying to get information out there, but like I said, sometimes it needs to not be just kind of reading off a page. You got to talk your talk. You got to talk your experiences. You got to sometimes talk about personal things. Because it's very enveloping, this job, and it can take you over very easily if you're not careful. So it's better to show a little bit of humanity. That's the problem with the post office. It's very robotic. They want it to be robotic, and I'm never going to let them take the humanity out of the job. As much as machines and automation and AI, I said, stay original, stay human. Don't fucking let them turn you into a robot. Never going to happen.
Hold on. Okay, so who qualifies for no tax on overtime? Only non-exempt workers under. I am fooling around right now.
I know they don't show I know they don't show humanity, TC. I know.
Listen,
I know. We're better than that.
Nope. Somebody just sent me this. Only non-exempted workers under FLSA. So on your paychecks, somebody in our chat group said, "I don't get it, man. You don't read it the wrong way. You saw the same text message the other day. If you have the letters FLSA on your paycheck, then you will qualify. So I know I think I made an error about the rural carriers when I originally spoke about it. That's honestly because I don't think anybody knows how the rural carriers get paid. I don't think rural carriers know how they get paid. But if you see on your paycheck that it says FLSA that you're eligible for it, then you'll be able to do that. No tax on the overtime. All right. Hopefully that cleared that part up, or whatever that means.
What is the The N stand for at the top of the stuff that one of our chat members was saying the other day.
Yeah, yeah. So like we have our chat group and we clown about it. So
he doesn't seem to be in the chat right now.
yeah, we joke with each other. Everybody has these questions
We
and we
got to
learn from each other.
you got to bust balls, man. You ain't gonna get through this if you ain't ready to have your balls busted and you're ready to bust some balls back. I'm telling you, that's the human part of it. That's the
Yes.
human part of it.
Can you do an EEO if you've been disciplined when you feel you have done nothing wrong? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. That you can
Good luck.
if you feel as if it's called retaliation,
yes,
for whatever the reasoning, or discrimination, or age. I don't want to give you all the food, but look that up for yourself. For instance, I'm loading my truck at my speed. The man next to me just happens to be 20 years younger than me. He's moving a lot faster. They come over to me, hey man, you need to hurry up or we're gonna write you up. And I'm like, yo, but I'm loading at the best way. Well, you see Jerry over there, he loading his truck up faster. Well, yeah, I'm not Jerry, dog, but we're gonna have you taking too long. Next time this happens, we'll write you up. Okay, I wrote up. I don't think I did any wrong. So you can use, well, discrimination. Maybe because I'm old. I don't know. I mean, there are different methods you can learn to attack it. But if you were written up because you did some shit wrong, just bite the bullet, bro. I don't
timeout.
know.
Can I get a timeout? Can I get a timeout?
Go for it.
Redskins. You say, meaning me, fuck the old heads, but you're the first one to say you have your wonderful 19 years in. Fuck does that mean?
This man is only 40 something years old.
I'm going to be 45 years old. I said, old heads. I said, what sense does that make whatsoever? Okay. I just said, and if you don't need to clean the fucking wax out of your ears to say that I am nothing special despite being here as long as I've been here. Who gives a fuck? 19, 29, 14, whatever. I'm here for 19 years. I'm proud of the fucking job and the work that I do. And yeah, there's some older fucking people than me that are old heads or whatever you want to call it that do a lot of jerky stuff and have done a lot of jerky stuff and say a lot of jackass stuff, and expect to be patted on the back because of their service. That's not me. I don't give a flying fuck when I put my 30 years in. So what I never seen you in here before. Maybe you're new to the game. I don't know, where you've been, but yeah, go fucking go stick your finger in an electrical socket. I don't know. Like, what's your deal? Come on, respond. Say something. The fuck are you talking about? Please clarify. I'm waiting. Come on. Take your time. Yo, Country Kane, what's up, brother? Good to see you.
Oh shit. I had to come
Come
off
on.
of this. Y'all on it right now, boy.
I'm waiting.
Oh my goodness. Country Kane, that's my dog.
About
Lord have
time, yeah.
mercy. Woo. Robots
Come on,
overheat as well.
Redskins. I'm waiting.
Yes.
Make some sense of your comment.
Oh man. Oh man. A letter carrier just retired. See, right here, right on the Reading York guy just made a point. The man retired after 56 years of delivering.
Yeah. He's got some stories.
I applaud that man. I applaud that man for his service. That's what we call an old head. Can he identify with what Brooklyn Dre? That's a young, fit dude. Can he identify with the type of work that he does?
Philly, Sean. Philly, Pennsylvania. Born and raised.
He can't, because at the end of the day, the older gentleman now is 56 years. They're not giving him the same type of work that they're giving to Brooklyn Dre. It just not. They call them retirement routes for a reason. He might. Yeah, I don't know. He might go stop at a couple of freaking bakeries and drop off some boxes and pick up some boxes, and that might be his 8-hour day. I don't know, but if that's the same gentleman that's gonna vote to say, "Hey, I think we should keep old Harold here as our shop steward," old Harold can't identify what Brooklyn Dre is doing out there. Brooklyn Dre going up and down in New York. They don't have elevators if the buildings are more than 5 stories. Like
Yep.
it's up to 5 stories.
Yep.
Anything over 5 stories, that's where they have to put an elevator in. So Brooklyn Dre gotta go bring a freaking box of cat food up fucking 4 boxes, four flights of stairs, and still be on time. I don't know how that shit works. Y'all crazy for that shit. Delivered Amazon. Like, it's stuff like that where they're not gonna send the 56-year-old, the 56 carrier to do that. That's where there's a gap. But again, Jay don't carry mail. I give y'all a props. I couldn't do it, man. I mean, I probably could, but nah.
You could.
No.
You could.
Because
I think
I
you
live
could.
next door to Did, man. Did got a lot of baby oil and shit.
Yeah, I'm retired. When I retire, I'm coming to that special place. But yeah, where'd you go, Redskin? Nowhere to
He
be found.
disappeared.
It's okay. No, hit me in the comments after, please.
There was Redskin
Please.
now, and he's a cowboy. Lord have
Yeah,
mercy.
there you go. There you go. I love that one. But
Long Island.
What?
I got some stories about that Long Island there, Sean. Maybe are you a carrier? Sean, no. Sean.
Oh, he's a carrier and a shop steward, as far as I think.
He is.
I believe he said he's a carrier. He carries his route, shop steward, Long Island. Let's go.
Okay. Because I might be talking about, I might have had a story about something that was going on in your area. There's so many
here
people.
he is. Oh, wait, here he is. 32 years in, bud. You said F old heads. We carried mail when there was mail, not spur loops. Snot froze to my cheek a lot longer than yours. Fuck you, motherfucker. I had fucking volume. I still got volume. I'm in an affluent town. I got 975 current deliveries. I do park and loop. I do mounted. I do cluster. I do every form of delivery. Kiss my ass. And you're 32 years, bud. Fuck off.
We don't want to get demonetized.
Redskins. Great.
Going on here?
Great screen name, Redskins. See, there's carrier on carrier crime. Telling me like I'm not gonna speak on the idea about fuck old heads and I have 19 years in. Like, again, make sense of it, dude. I got 32 years in, bud. I had snot on my nose. I'll wipe your fucking snot off your nose, kid. And you can fucking wipe my ass, you knucklehead.
A spur loop? Oh my god.
A spur loop. I said, like I said, some routes could use a little more mail. Where I work at, we got plenty of mail to hold us over. I know that it ain't as much as we used to have, but there's plenty of work to be done, and I do it every fucking day, pal. Blow it out your ass.
Oh man. So fit over 50 sounds like somebody like me. He's fit over 50 years old, I'm assuming.
I got no problem with
it. But I'm
fit.
sure he moves at a regular speed.
I got no problem with
fit. Myself. This is off the chain. TTO Mid-Island PNDs. Oh, okay. I got a couple of your people that came down to where I'm located, somewhere in USA.
I take my lunch and my breaks every day, asswipe.
Wow, man, there's a lot of love. He does realize they make you combine the hits until it fills your satchel. See, now y'all talking carrier talk. I can't.
It's all right. We don't. It don't need to delve into any carrier talk. This. He's entitled to his opinion. He can say what he wants to say. But the idea that he's saying that I'm dissing old heads while I have my 19, while I'm clarifying my name, as if I'm patting myself on the back. It's saying shit. It's whatever. It's what it is. What it is. I served, and I'm going to keep serving. But I am nothing fucking special. I don't deserve any fucking medals, any million-mile awards. I said, yeah, I'm going to have snot on my nose in the wintertime, and I'm going to be sweating my balls off all day. And I'm going to keep doing the job diligently. And I ain't going to look for no cupcake route. I'm going to fucking work my balls off because that's what I like to do. I'd rather be working all day than fucking sitting and trying to make a route. You probably dragged your fucking route out all day. Jerk off. Okay, I'm done. Let's talk about something happy now.
There's a lot of love there. All right, well, Sean, do me a favor. Send me a text message. I'm sure I have your number, but there's so many people that are texting me. I can't save every number. But this is the gentleman that sent me the
seniority doesn't rule in my world, York. Sorry. Maybe in your world it does, not in mine. Seniority.
Anyway,
seniority don't mean shit.
Send me a text message there, Sean, if you have my number. Thank you. If I have it, it'll pop up. If I don't, then I'm gonna save it this time. Anyway, so ooh, Lord,
Kane keeps calling me Gooch.
people misunderstand on purpose.
Turn
Oh,
orange.
fit over 50. What part of Florida are you in? I think you're over in the West Coast, right? Of Florida.
Shout out to Sarasota.
When I say old heads, I refer to the carriers that have run routes and have that I
Where
got
is it?
mine attitude.
Where is it?
Mm.
Where is it? Where is that?
No, that's Mr. Bodman talking.
Okay. When I
The
say
one
orange.
Bodman.
Yeah.
P. Diddy,
Yeah.
country. I apologize that I'm looking that way because I'm trying to read all these things. I waived my lunch today. I have to get off the clock. Listen,
You're good, Kane. I love you, brother.
these last few minutes, I'm gonna let you do your thing. Do you want me to load you up with a question, brother? Because you on fire tonight. I don't even know how to follow that.
No,
I
listen.
can't,
Well,
you, you took over the JH, bro.
you've been putting in work. You've been putting in a lot of work, and I've been kind of quiet on my channel. And I'm glad to come on here with you. And I like the way everything is presented by you, put together. You hook up the connection and everything. But at this, carriers got to be able to speak. Carriers got to be able to convey what they're going through, what they feel, regardless of how much time you have served. Obviously, the shit is real. I want to be able to say it because I go out and do it every day. And like I said, there's no cupcake route. I don't want no fucking cupcake route. I had the opportunity to take many over the last couple of years, and I skipped right by them, and I stay where I am, and I love it. I love being I love having the route that keeps you busy all day. Love it.
Chooch does need a Snickers. I'm gonna leave it at this.
Want to get away? And his name is Getaway. That's great. Want to get away?
I think that might. I'm not sure if that's a lady, but listen, um, I got a serious question, and I want you to drive it home. I want you to feel it when you deliver this message,
Mm-hmm.
because I want people to go over to your channel, and I want them to watch you when you're delivering a message.
Yes, sir.
I want people I want your opinion.
Okay.
I want you to give it to us in 10 minutes or less. We have people out here that work 12-hour days.
Yeah.
That still live check to check. What do you think the biggest disconnect is between what they are earning, not what you earning? I know what you make, boy. I'm trying to borrow $5 for you so I could buy a bag of. Never mind. They
Yeah,
don't
I
sell
know.
them in $5 bags no more, right?
I'm
But what's the biggest disconnect between what they earn and what they're left with? People working 12-hour days,
yeah.
like a Nick,
Yeah.
like a Aaron, that work. I'm not saying that they live check to check,
Mm-hmm.
but what's the biggest disconnect? And how do you think that can be improved? Give us 10 minutes or less and make it good.
All right. And I, putting on that particular spot to say that, how am I possibly supposed to feel the pain of the idea that you have to put in 12 and 6 days a week and volunteer and put it to say that, the top pay grade at this point, if you've, diligently handled your finances and everything, and you had a little bit of luck, you gotta have a little bit of luck in this world, to say that, I've had a great set of people that have helped with my children immensely. So I never had to pay for a day of daycare. I couldn't even imagine the idea of having to be in this moment right now and having to pay for daycare while you go and, have to possibly work 12 hours at the post office 6 days a week and then fucking, having to do a DoorDash or something like that. It's crazy. But I can tell you this in the beginning, in my 20s and 30s, when I was making 19 an hour, the same thing. I know it was a different time in terms of inflation, but I was also disc jockeying regularly each weekend. So I would work 6 days, 50 plus hours, and then I would throw on a different set of clothes, throw some deodorant on. Sometimes I got a shower if I was lucky, and I'd run to a different county to go do a gig, and I'd be at that gig 4 to 5 hours, lugging the equipment, packing it in the car, going back to where I live in another county, starting that next day, going back, doing another 6-day work week, another gig. I did that consistently for 10, 15 years. So just like Nick, man, I know the grind, I know the hustle, and I put a lot away, kept myself, got myself lined up. Got a wonderful woman in my life that went and worked as a hairdresser 5 days a week up until the point we had our children, and we were able to like roll back her time a little bit, and then just like the way things took shape, now, like I said, I have just done this, forcing in and being worked to death for so long that I wanted to actually feel what it was like to not have to work, every freaking week and every NS day and every, and Sundays and volunteering. And it's finally gotten to that point where I can do that and not feel the sting of finances, but I'm not stacking paper like, up to here. I said it's still at the top pay grade. It's still people, carriers deserve more at the top pay grade. It's, again, I make the UPS comparison. They're making 97,000 by the end of their contract. We're going to barely be around 84. Do you think you're worth 13,000 less than a UPS worker? I don't. I think we deserve right around the same fucking thing. So again, I talk to so many people in my chat that are table two carriers, and these guys, tell me stories. They tell me like, Chooch, I'd love to be able to do this. I'd love to be able to take a trip somewhere, but I'm fucking stuck doing this. And I just said, these, Mike Cariff, Corey Walton, James Henry, whoever that next guy in line is. I said, if you're not, you know, Brian Renfro fucked up, plain and simple. He fucked up. We all know he fucked up. The idea of this next union president is going to be so important to go in there and say, you are going to negotiate. If you're going to be that sole negotiator, which I completely disagree with, that we need to have a group of people as part of the negotiations and can't be locked out and have one fucker in there, regardless of how good James Henry might sound or Mike Cariff might sound. It needs to be a group of people like that are educated in the ways of the carrier. Maybe some actual people who carry fucking mail every day to say your voice is going to be heard. That's the disconnect. That's why people feel lost. And that's what the morale killer is, to say that you feel like you have zero say while Renfro is in that room negotiating this peanuts for us. So the next union rep has to be, you can't fuck this up. You hear that? I'm putting that pressure on you and saying that for the carriers, old and new and in between. You have to go into that next negotiation and you cannot fuck this up. You are going in there for us. You are not going in there for your own personal interest or what Tolino wants or what Steiner wants. It has to be about mail carriers in 2025 making a reasonable fucking wage and being taken care of so they don't have to be working 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, volunteering for overtime, never seeing the light of day. That's what needs to be done. That's what the change needs to be. I'm saying it till I'm blue in the fucking face, and I'm going to say it on here. I'm going to say it when I go to work, when I go to the union meetings. That's what we want to see. I hope those guys that I just mentioned, those possible candidates for president, are listening. You got to do better, guys. You got to show us something more. You're doing communication things on here, and that's nice to see. But again, people's stories are heartbreaking, and it makes me sick to my fucking stomach to say that I can sit here comfortably and I talk to people every day who I know aren't going to get to that comfort level for another 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years, because it takes 13.2 years to get to the top pay grade. And by that point, if inflation and colas are not adjusting properly with the times, you're still going to feel like, damn, I'm working my balls off and I still can't get caught up with this. Like I said, there's a lot of luck involved. It's just the timing and luck are my story, and hard work and dedication and disc jockeying and, just doing whatever I needed to do with the time I had to do it. But it's going to slowly break you down and make you start hurting up here in here, and it can't, it's inhumane to have to keep doing that for years and years and years. That shouldn't be how it is. So Hope that everybody, receives that message to say that I'm not sitting here saying, well, too bad for you guys. I never want to flaunt anything. I busted my ass for everything that you see behind me. For that, this is very recent. This is all put together from years and years of putting all that stuff together. I've not been so fortunate up until just recently to say that I'm able to get off the list. I'm able to finally see my kids a little more. I'm able to go to the game that I never got to go to in the beginning. There's so much to be done in this world, and it shouldn't be where you have to be subjected to this long, drawn out thing of people busting your balls and you feeling like that you have no way out, you know? And I don't want people to leave. I want people to stay the course, but it has to be you guys doing the work as honestly and good as possible. And it has to be these union guys to stop fucking around and stop doing lip service and do something good for the worker, for the people that make it happen. You, please, how many times can we come on here and say it? You guys have to do better. This is a hard job. This is a very, very difficult thing to get up and do every day. All right. And I don't know if Jay's still sitting there waiting on me, but I think I got him up to the 10-minute mark. But I'll, I can go on forever. So, and that's a table one for them. I just want to check the comments here saying that it's crazy because we know that he put work in. Thank you, Divine. I appreciate that. I really do. I appreciate everybody, even the jackass that was saying that bullshit about oh, he's not 19 years in and he's calling old heads assholes. Yeah, whatever. Love you, brother. You're the best. You know exactly what you're talking about. So Jay, you want me to keep talking, or you just want me to wait here until you get back? Yeah, probably. He's probably lubing up right now. Anyway, no, you know, I I want to just take a minute to say thank you to those particular guys that don't show their faces on here very much, but are part of my daily chat group, and they are unique in their own way and silly and dedicated to the craft, and and some of them, hopefully I'll get to shake hands with one day, meet up, check out, have a drink with. Nick, me and Nick have plans to get together and destroy every cheesesteak in Philly when he gets here. I hope I get to do that. My man Mike in Chicago, chat till I die. I hope we can catch a game sometime. Go Phils and Christ, in West Side Dave. I'm headed out to Cali at the end of the year. I hope I get to meet West Side Dave by some chance and have a In-N-Out burger for the first time in my life. So, but nah, I don't want to stray too far. There he is. There you go. I think I did 10 minutes. I didn't time it, but I think I got the point across.
My bad. I was
Yeah,
muted.
yeah. You're good. So,
Oh man, Northside Dre said I was rolling up.
and
It's funny. I never experienced the that. So I had a fear of that personal story. We all have those things that go on in our lives, and my biological mother was really she was succumbed to the no, I ain't gonna say she succumbed to, but she fell victim to New York in the 80s. So I'll never forget that. So I always had a fear. And I remember that she was rolling up those little paper joints and she had roach clips and shit like that. And yeah, I was always scared of it. I love the smell of it, but I couldn't do it. And just because I'm a truck driver, they they still drug test us. So regardless of what y'all think, they do randoms on truck drivers and names just come up. I remember I did that shit like 4 times in 2 months. It didn't bother me, but
I got a
felt like
feeling.
I
I
was
got a feeling
targeted.
I'm going to be called in for a random drug test after this video posts. But the good news is, go right ahead.
That's it,
Feel not.
and just like Badman say, I've been driving trucks for 26 years. And I'm not gonna let that take my no. Mm-mm. And they also let you know it's supposed to be 8 hours from the bottle to the throttle. So
Mailman
drinking,
Nick has entered the chat.
where my dog at? Hopefully another postal user steals his. Oh Lord. On that note,
On that
all righty
note,
then.
yes, sir.
All righty then.
Yeah.
Listen, before I close this out, again, I have a pinned comment with the praying mailman on his channel. Some of us need that. Y'all know what that means, the praying mailman. That's what you're going to get if you go over there.
Good
A
stuff.
very inspirational gentleman. Mailman Nick is in the comments. You
Yes.
all know. If you don't know,
You better
go
ask
check
somebody.
out Mailman Nick.
Can I blow Texas Tay a quick kiss? Thank
Oh
you, honey.
Lord.
Thank you, honey.
I ain't got nothing to do with that.
Let me do it with this hand. Wait, see,
Okay. Yeah, Mrs.
that's the
Chooch,
best. That's the
Jay
best I.
had nothing to do with this.
Yeah,
Please, just look. I'm looking at it. Please don't.
That's why I did this, and I said, yeah, this is the best I can do. This is the best I can do. 16 years happily married.
That's it. And that's pretty much all I gotta say. I really wanted y'all to get a feel of what Chooch has to offer. He's a little more structured with his wording, and
Sometimes.
you know, he's it keeps him occupied, keeps the brain going. You know what I
Damn
mean?
right. Got to.
Oh shit! I left my glasses on the table. I can't get
Oh
up.
my God. I
Can't get up right now.
I'm waiting for this 2020 to disappear. I feel like now, now that I'm due for a colonoscopy, my eyes are going to go bad too once they pull that off. Thanks, Texas Tape. I appreciate it. I'm going to get that In-N-Out burger in.
No, all right. Listen, y'all check out these channels that I mentioned, and definitely sometimes you need to hear a word. On the Praying Mailman's channel, he has very short videos, like a minute or two. Sometimes we all need it. Mailman Nick is going to talk about the food that he eats on his cheat days. He's finally getting some size back to him.
Bye, Redskins. Nice talking to you. Come back sometime. Come back now, you hear?
And all due respect, Redskins, regardless of y'all arguing, I want to thank you for your service.
Same here.
Regardless of it.
32
32
years.
years ain't nothing to sneeze at, man. So thank you for your service as well.
Nice.
And we all can come on here and argue and still love each other. It's kind of a sick family we got going on here. You know what I mean? But with that being said,
nothing but love.
There it is. This
Nothing
is
but
JayH, and that is
Chooch. Love you guys. Thank you for joining us. Thanks for sticking around. Appreciate it.
Hey, and we out. Boom. Should be off.
Yes, sir.